My dad was a pilot, and a lot of times as a kid, me and my brothers, we'd go out to the airport with my dad. He'd be working, and we're exposed to pretty much all things aviation.
Every opportunity they had to go with him, they did.
It was really a lot of fun. We all learned to fly at a young age.
He was probably preschool age, close to kindergarten, and they heard of what they called a murmur. That's where his story starts with the heart issues.
As I became a teenager and then started flying, I reported it to the FAA and just kept going full steam ahead with my life. In the fall of 2013, I had a routine for me visit to the cardiologist where they look at the last year and just follow up with the congenital heart defect we knew about, which was always called junctional rhythm.
So the months leading up to that, he had been exceptionally active, running 5Ks, biking.
The nurse practitioner asked me if how I was doing, and I kind of just downplayed it that I was fine and stuff. And
the nurse practitioner kind of called him out and said, hey, your heart rate's in the 40s, most people would not feel well. And I think at that point, he realized, wow, I don't really feel that great.
She was very curious as to why I would have that response.
Things kind of just transpired from there, kind of investigating what he was feeling and identifying that there was something not working correctly.
I knew that something was slowing me down, but I couldn't quite figure out exactly what it was.
He was extremely active at that point, so feeling fatigued could easily be explained, from just half marathon that he ran just for fun. So I think it was easy to write that off or hope that there wasn't an underlying issue.
That fall, a lot of things became known. I was in atrial fibrillation at some point, and then eventually I was in it solid, and I had to be cardioverted. And then after cardioversion, there were a lot of appointments to determine a care plan going forward. And the end result was to install a pacemaker to get a base rhythm to maintain normal heart function.
At some point after the pacemaker, he started experiencing atrial fibrillation.
I was able to be cardioverted, but I decided that I wanted to go forward with trying to eliminate AFib from my life.
His doctor thought the best course would be to do an ablation of the heart to buzz out that area causing the issue.
Got to the hospital, went to do it. The doctor went in.
I was in the waiting room with Brandon's mom, and the cardiologist came out, well earlier than than he should have. And, he said, everything's fine, everything's okay, Brandon's all right.
The cardiologist had informed us that he had his inferior vena cava had ended, and he didn't have the normal circulation that you or I have.
The vein down here in my leg proceeded to go up and hit a dead end.
And I just remember my mother-in-law and I stared at him probably like he had 3 heads, because that doesn't make any sense to us, and both of us being nurses, we'd never heard of that before.
We ended up deciding to go to Phoenix to see a specialist who works with patients all around the world.
Who specialized in a transhepatic ablation, which is where they go through a vein in the liver to access the heart.
I was the first cryoablation through that entry. After the ablation was completed, which all went fine, they decided to order a CT scan for the middle section of my body, which had never been looked at. What it revealed in the end the next day was that I had accessory spleens. I think I have 2 left lungs, some bowel malrotation, and some other problems that are all associated with a problem called heterotaxy that's congenital that I was born with. And I believe mine is the left, where I think the left side copies the right side when I was developing. So the good thing was they were able to determine that all the problems that I've been having with heart rhythm, AFib, and I finally had an answer, like, this is what's wrong with you. And for me, a lot of the problem was, where does this lead? Like, how is this going to affect my job? How is this going to affect my family, my livelihood? This is a big problem.
Anytime he's cardioverted, that does require some downtime to make sure that things are level before he heads back to flying.
The FAA actually looks at me closer than any normal pilot, and they have looked at most all parts of my body more extensively than your average pilot. So it's actually a good thing in that, sure, I have these problems, but I'm really lucky in that they've all been addressed, and I have modern technology that's actually helping to correct everything and be a safe pilot.
It's all very important, and he continues to do that, and I'm real proud of him.